A top story across the nation. We're officially in the longest government shutdown in history. After weeks without any movement, some senators say the impasse could end this week. Another top story tonight, new plans released for the Broncos' new stadium shortly after voters approved a ballot measure to fund bridge repairs near the potential stadium site. The team is giving us a glimpse of what that area would look like. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. This morning, the Broncos submitted their large development review pre-application. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry joins us now, live from Burnham Yard, to share some of those details with us. Jaleesa.
Yeah, Kim and Phil, the Broncos filed a 38-page application that was purely conceptual. It really gives us an idea of how this stadium will blend with the surrounding community. So much of the application wasn't about the stadium, but rather the areas around it.
According to renderings, the Broncos hope to put the stadium on the far west side of Burnham Yard, away from the neighborhood south of La Alma Park, but plan to connect them with green spaces and mixed-use buildings filled with housing, offices, and restaurants. They're also looking to preserve some of the history in the area, reusing the locomotive shop as a community hub, as well as a few other older rail yard features still on the site. The documents say people will be able to get to Burnham Yard in a variety of ways, including via public transportation, by expanding the 10th and Osage light rail stop. With green spaces, offices, and everyday amenities on site, they hope to make this a place the community will enjoy year-round. Our Broncos insider, Mike Kliss, spoke to the Broncos president about it.
They're going to work with community leaders, business leaders. Damani Leach has said that he's going to be in a listen mode first as they go about this process. But things are moving forward, basically, is what it's going with the planning and the design of the Broncos' new stadium.
In a statement today, the Broncos said they're looking forward to working with the city and community to make sure that this stadium is something that improves the quality of life for everyone. Now, the city just scheduled their first open house about this project later this month. Reporting live at Burnham Yard, Jaleesa Irizarry, 9 News.
So plenty of time for people to share their thoughts.
A lot of thoughts about traffic would be my guess, too.
Yeah, traffic, getting in and out, that's going to be a top one.
Jaleesa, thank you.
We have less than an hour of daylight left, but we got some pretty warm sunshine today, that's for sure.
Our dry start to November is stretching out another day, and to pull a phrase from Kathy, I keep wondering when the other shoe is going to drop.
Me
You know what I mean? Every day is as nice as the next.
Me too. I've been talking with all the members of the 9 News Weather Impact team, and we've been looking out 7, 10, 20 days. And while there are some signs this pattern could be shifting in the next 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks, so this is a little bit unusual. And so with the warm, dry weather pattern, it is easy to get around. Today we were dealing with some wind, which nobody really likes to see that, but the wind is increasing ahead of a system that may actually bring a little bit of light mountain snow tomorrow, so that would be good news. We're in the mid-60s this hour in downtown Denver, and the wind really appears to be the worst just to the south and east of us. A gust of 29 at Monument Hill, 28 over Loveland Pass. The wind should subside a bit after sunset as this little weather system approaches from the northwest, but then the winds will increase again tomorrow along with that front, which may bring a little northern mountain snow. Not a lot, but I'm saying there is a chance, something that we haven't been able to say for a while. We're close to 60 now. We're going to drop into the low 50s by 9 o'clock. It's a mild night, a calm night, a night to see that big, beautiful full moon. Beautiful. We'll be talking about the elevated fire danger and also have the Broncos football forecast for Thursday night. That's coming up.
The man accused of attacking people with Molotov cocktails in Boulder this past summer has pleaded not guilty in his state case.
And so now a trial date has been set for the murder charges as the federal government also plans its case in the terror attack. 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola has been following this criminal case since June and was in court today. Jeremy.
Yeah, you'll remember more than a dozen people were injured. One of them died a few weeks after this attack. And for victims, today's court hearing gives them a trial date, something they want to happen quickly. This morning, Muhammad Suleiman appeared in a Boulder courtroom while shackled in a wheelchair. On the state level, he is currently charged with 184 counts, including murder. On June 1st, investigators say he threw Molotov cocktails at people peacefully marching for the release of hostages in Gaza. Sullivan pleaded not guilty to his charges this morning, and then the judge set a trial date for next July. Jury selection will begin on July 10th. Then the trial will start on the 13th and could take up to 2 weeks. In the courtroom, the victims were noticeably frustrated. The trial was pushed back to July when they wanted it earlier. Here's the district attorney talking about that.
The victims want this to go to trial as soon as possible. They want justice to be done for the victims, their families, and for this community. And we're going to make sure that we support them every step of the way. So you were right in perceiving their frustration about the trial being pushed out, but that's something we had talked about in advance, and I know that they're going to continue coming down to court for every court appearance, including for the trial.
Meanwhile, the suspect is also under federal indictment for hate crime charges. He is set to go to trial in federal court in June, but that could be pushed back too. His family remains detained in an immigration facility in Texas. Their attorney continues to try to get them released. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
Hey, Jeremy, you certainly understand the family's frustration. A lot of people, if they're not familiar with the court system, don't understand sometimes how long a process this can be, and especially with the federal charges too.
Exactly. You've got two cases kind of happening in parallel. Then there's a substantial amount of evidence, victims to subpoena, witnesses to subpoena. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, and they just want justice. All right, Jeremy, thank you.
A shuttle bus driver is being charged in a deadly crash back in July near DIA. Investigators say the shuttle driver turned left in front of a pickup truck on Tower Road, just near East 81st Avenue, even though that truck had the right of way. A 77-year-old man who was a passenger on the bus was killed. 9 others were hurt. Today, the driver was charged with 8 other charges, including careless driving, resulting in death. The driver is due back in court in December. We're getting new angles showing the UPS plane crash that we brought to you as breaking news throughout the 4 o'clock hour yesterday.
Yeah, before we show them to you, we do just want to warn you that this video could be disturbing to many of you. One video shows a worker in a nearby truck witness the entire crash happen right in front of it. It's remarkable to have that on video and horrible at the same time. Just within the last hour, 12 people we know, the governor said, have been killed. 15 others taken to the hospital with injuries. 2 of them remain in the hospital. The cause still under investigation tonight. 9 News Investigates' Chris Vanderveen gives us a better picture of the crash timeline.
The ill-fated flight pushes back from Louisville International Airport at 5:02 p.m. local time. It's filled with cargo and fuel, lots of both. Using flight data, we can track precisely where it went. It taxis around the airport's westernmost runway and then gains speed as it attempts to take off from 17 right, the longest of the airport's 2 runways. You can see the flight path drift, if ever so slightly, to the plane's left as it nears the runway's end. This is where cell phone video records a fire coming from the plane's left engine, one of 3 engines on the MD-11. Here's aviation expert Greg Fein.
This airplane has an engine on each wing and then one in the tail. It appears from the video that it was the left engine that may have catastrophically failed. That's why you have such a large fireball on the airplane.
From here, the plane never gains much altitude. It rolls, clips a warehouse immediately south of the airport property. A much larger fireball erupts. The momentum of the plane sends it into more buildings and parking lots. This is where the core of the damage is today.
Now you have anywhere from 28 to 40,000 gallons of fuel that are being spread all over structures. And now all of a sudden you have huge fires, not only from the aircraft wreckage itself, but then any structures that were ignited.
The flight was bound for Honolulu. There were 3 crew members aboard. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.
Chris, thank you. The NTSB has confirmed investigators did recover the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder as well.
Big projects will get underway in Denver next year after more than 60% of voters showed their support for the $950 million Vibrant Denver bond package. Among the 90 projects that the bond package funds are infrastructure improvements at Burnham Yard, where the Broncos want to build that new stadium, along with a new police and fire training center, a health center in Sun Valley, and buying land or buildings for affordable housing. A surprising flip could be brewing in Aurora, where Republican-backed candidates are trailing in every single city council race. This could be a big shift for Aurora after with a liberal-leaning council. However, they would still have to work alongside Republican Mike Kaufman as mayor. Coming up at 4:30, Kyle Clark is going to track down this, but other surprises and what things mean on a national level for Colorado. Two former Broncos coaches getting even closer to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Today we learned Dan Reeves and Mike Shanahan made the cut of 9 Hall of Fame coach candidates. This will be for the class of 2026. Reeves coached from 1981 to 1992, leading the Broncos to 4 Super Bowl appearances. 3 years after Reeves was fired, Shanahan was hired, leading the Broncos to their first 2 Super Bowl championships back-to-back. He coached the Broncos until 2008. One finalist will be selected later this month. Of course, we are partial to them.
The 2 of them, yes.
There's quite a list here. We've got Holmgren and Belichick, and I don't remember.
No, it's an incredible list, but those guys have earned their
Schottenheimer,
place.
but
Yeah, Schottenheimer.
I think one of our guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get him on
our
there.
vote.